welcome back to Guest House. I'm Chrissy Costanza, and I'm so excited because today I am finally joined by the lovely, talented, amazing, smart, intellectual, strong, and powerful Emma Fyffe in the Guest House.
Oh, wow. Those are a lot of just like very nice adjectives.
I like that.
Do tell me more, Chrissy, about myself.
Do tell me more about me. Why stop there? Why stop with 7 adjectives? Yeah. You've played a lot of video games in your day.
Yes, I have.
You have been an OG gamer from the start, which means you have seen the original game, and you've also seen a lot of remakes and remasters along the way. And that is the theme of our hot takes today. It's all about remakes and remasters. So that being said, let's get into the first hot take. First game, Mass Effect. Came out nearly 9 years ago. Lots of people played it then. And the PC community spent a lot of time modding the game to make it look and feel better. So is a remaster really necessary?
Well, speaking as somebody who, for whatever reason, the Mass Effect games kind of passed me by when they were originally released, I have to say, yes, it is. Because this is the thing is, I've been a console gamer for most of my life. I have recently made my way into the PC world. But the fact of the matter is there are a lot of people that own consoles. PCs take a lot more sort of upkeep and hardware and stuff to make them run. Whereas like a console, you get it, you hook it up to your TV, you play it. Yeah. I've always wanted to play Mass Effect, and I just kept going, you know what? Nope, there's this other game that I want to play. I'm going to play this instead. And Mass Effect. Oh, no, wait, this other game. But now I have a reason to go back and play Mass Effect, as I have been wanting to do for a long time, because it is very much the kind of game that's up my alley.
I love that. And we actually have a tweet that kind of is very much aligned with you there. This is actually from someone who had played the game and loved the game, and they beat the game, but they were extremely excited to play the remastered edition. They said, it's been long enough since I last played it that it feels nostalgic and fresh at the same time. I just don't understand, what is stopping someone from going back and just playing the original, though? Why do they need the remaster or the remake?
I mean, if you look at, there's been a lot of marketing that's come out of like the side-by-sides of what the original game looks like versus what the updated game looks like. And granted, as far as Mass Effect goes, it is basically just cosmetics.
Got it.
However, there's certainly some aspects as well on the more technical side of things, like games just run faster, more smoothly. The transition in between like cutscene and gameplay is a lot more seamless these days. So yeah, in the case of Mass Effect, this is mostly, from my understanding, a cosmetic upgrade, not necessarily a real like full ground up remake of the game. That being said, anytime you re-examine a game, even if it is literally just reskinning it and updating the sort of in-game engines and whatnot to be on par with what is standard now, you're making it more accessible to people who are just used to that level of polish.
Got it. So in this case, the remaster isn't actually changing the integrity of the game at all. It's just making it a little bit better for today's world. So Emma's hot take on Mass Effect 3 is the remaster is in fact necessary. The second hot take we're going into, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Is the term remake here confusing? Is it really that different from a remaster?
I mean, listen, remake, confusing, not because it's a remaster. This is a ground up remake of Final Fantasy VII. In fact, it's only the first portion of the story of Final Fantasy VII. Like, it gets to the point that you leave Midgar, which in the original release of the game wasn't even at the end of the first disc. And there are 3 discs in this game.
So in this case, this isn't a remaster at all. No. The use of remake is like this, like Taco Boulder Boy says, that your use of the word remake is quite literal.
Very literal.
And Taco Boulder Boy actually says, if anything, and this is kind of a hot take within and of itself, is if anything, Final Fantasy VII Remake is actually a sequel to the original and the start of a new series. How do you feel about that?
Taco Boulder Boy, Papa Poseidon, I'm with you. I actually used the term requel when I was talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because this is the thing is, you can definitely enjoy this game a la carte. And I am one of the biggest FF7 stans on the planet. And so I've had so many people tweeting at me as they are getting into the game, or friends texting me who've never played a Final Fantasy that are going, oh my God, this is my first Final Fantasy. I cannot believe how beautiful this game is, how great the story is, et cetera, et cetera. That being said, there's definitely stuff that happens at the end of FF7 Remake Part 1 that if you have not played Final Fantasy VII or any of its associated properties, because bear in mind, Final Fantasy VII already is part of what is called the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, which includes things like Crisis Core and Advent Children and Cerberus, maybe. But so at the end of the game, I think you'd be like, okay, who are these people?
Right.
Whereas if you've already played Final Fantasy VII, there is a level of, oh, what? Where is this even going? Like, they've already changed some stuff that was present in the original game, so it really does feel like it's a secret sequel.
It's a secret sequel. I love that. I love that. All right, our third hot take has to do with Persona 5 Royal. Are these kind of remakes actually worth it? What new content did they even add to Persona 5 Royal, and do you really need to play it?
Well, I can speak very personally for this one, as I did play the original Persona 5. Those games are hundreds of hours. They're easily over 100 hours, closer to 200. And I went, when Persona 5 Royal was coming out, I was like, oh, I feel like that's maybe fun for people who haven't played the OG Persona 5, but I don't know if I want to commit that much of my life to Persona 5 again. And then I kept hearing really, really good things about it from people who'd already played the OG game. And I went, you know what? I think I want to check this out. And you know what? It's super freaking worth checking out. I would say if you have not played OG Persona 5, skip it and just play Royal. Because Royal improves on some frustrating game mechanics, namely Morgana constantly telling you to go to bed. Anyone who's played Persona 5 can relate to my anguish over a cat telling me to go to sleep all the time. Also, it does add some interesting new characters who, like, shockingly are so endearing and add a lot to the story. Like, for example, one of my favorite new characters that they introduce is Maruki, who is the school psychologist, which might have to do with the fact that he's like a handsome, mature-ish man with good hair and glasses.
Added something for the older, now that we're in our 20s and 30s,
Yeah, exactly.
There's a couple elements added. So Critical Damage on Twitter actually is very aligned with you, says ultimately Persona 5 was great, but Persona 5 Royal gives it that extra little push to greatness, which makes sense, like getting rid of a little of those annoying game mechanics, adding the spicier elements now, those kind of things.
To make it a direct comparison to Final Fantasy VII, which is a ground-up remake, I do think that there is still value in playing the original Final Fantasy VII and also playing FF7 Remake. With Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, I don't think there's a lot of value in playing Persona 5 other than the fact that I'm pretty sure it was like $7 on the PlayStation Store.
Right.
You don't need to play both Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal.
Right.
If you haven't played any of them, just skip straight to Royal. But if you have played Persona 5, there's still a lot in Royal that makes it worth playing.
Love that. All right, thank you so much, Emma. That was Hot Takes with Emma Fyffe. Let us know in the comments down below. Are you for remakes and remasters? Or are you tried and true original only? We'll see you next time.